اوكي خلاص خلينا نبدأ. انا ببدأ التسجيل، حياخذ شوية. اوكي يلا، واذا عندكم اي سؤال وقفوه يعني اكتبوه على طول.
IELTS 14, Tests 1 to 4. Published by Cambridge University Press and UCLES 2019. This recording is copyright.
هذا
Test 1. You will hear a number of different recordings and you will have to answer questions on what you hear.
شوفوا فالآن
There will be
حاليا الاختبار لسه ما بدأ. ما حيخلوكم تفكوا التسجيل الورقة إلا لما يقول you may open the questions.
For you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Section 1. You will hear a woman reporting a theft to an officer in a police station. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 3. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
قبل ما أبدأ أبغى أقول لكم إيش اللي أنا بسويه الآن. أنا بختار الكلمات عشان أعرف إيش ممكن الحين حط هنا. فغالبا هذه يعني البلد اللي هي منه، السعودية ولا أي شيء. وهنا سبب، فهنا حيكون something. okay? هنا somewhere مكان، وهنا something حاجة. okay? current address هنا حيكون غالبا اسم. okay? وبعدين هنا رقم، ما أدري هذا إيش ممكن يكون، ولكن date of theft هذا حيكون تاريخ. okay? بس عشان نستعد.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I want to report a theft. I had some things stolen out of my bag yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that. Right, so I'll need to take a few details. Can I start with your name?
Louise Taylor.
هذا الاسم.
The woman's name is Louise Taylor. So Taylor has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time.
Okay.
Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 3.
لازم ننتبه من
Good morning. What can I do for you?
I want to report a theft. I had some things stolen out of my bag yesterday.
I'm sorry to hear that. Right, so I'll need to take a few details. Can I start with your name?
Louise Taylor.
Okay, thank you. And are you resident in the UK?
No, I'm actually Canadian, though my mother was British.
And your date of birth?
December 14th, 1977.
So you're just visiting this country?
That's right. I come over most summers on business. I'm an interior designer, and I come over to buy old furniture, antiques, you know? There are some really lovely things around here, but you need to get out to the small towns. I've had a really good trip this year, until this happened.
Okay. So you've been here quite a while?
Yes, I'm here for 2 months. I go back next week.
So, may I ask where you're staying now?
Well, at present, I've got a place at Park Apartments. That's on King Street.
Park.
I was staying at the Riverside Apartments on the same street, but the apartment there was only available for 6 weeks, so I had to find another one.
Okay. And the apartment number?
15.
Right.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 4 to 10.
هنا حيكون مبلغ أي شيء. هنا تاريخ. 7 outside ده مكان. هنا مكان. 8 سألوها شيء في this is something. 9 hair. فهنا حيكون color. هنا حيكون لون. وهنا رقم. هنا حيقول لنا رقم لازم نسمع الرقم.
Now listen and answer questions 4 to 10.
Now, I need to take some details of the theft. So, you said you had some things stolen out of your bag?
That's right.
And were you actually carrying the bag when the theft took place?
Yes. I really can't understand it. I had my backpack on, and I went into a supermarket to buy a few things, and when I opened it up, my wallet wasn't there.
And what did your wallet have in it?
Well, fortunately, I don't keep my credit cards in that wallet. I keep them with my passport in an inside compartment in my backpack, but there was quite a bit of cash there, about £250 sterling, I should think. I withdrew £300 from my account yesterday, but I did a bit of shopping, so I must have already spent about £50 of that.
Okay.
At first I thought, oh, I must have left the wallet back in the apartment. But then I realized my phone had gone as well. It was only a week old, and that's when I realized I'd been robbed. Anyway, at least they didn't take the keys to my rental car.
Yes. So you say the theft occurred yesterday?
Yes.
So that was September the 10th? And do you have any idea at all of where or when the things might possibly have been stolen?
Well, at first I couldn't believe it because the bag had been on my back ever since I left the apartment after lunch. It's just a small backpack, but I generally use it when I'm traveling because it seems safer than a handbag. Anyway, I met up with a friend, and we spent a couple of hours in the museum. But I do remember that as we were leaving there, at about 4 o'clock, a group of young boys ran up to us, and they were really crowding round us, and they were asking us what time it was. Then, all of a sudden, they ran off.
Can you remember anything about them?
The one who did most of the talking was wearing a T-shirt with a picture of something. Let's see. A tiger.
Right. Any idea of how old he might have been?
Around 12 years old?
And can you remember anything else about his appearance?
Not much. He was quite thin.
Color of hair?
I do remember that. He was blonde. All the others were dark-haired.
And any details of the others?
Not really. They came and went so quickly.
Right. So, what I'm going to do now is give you a crime reference number so you can contact your insurance company. So, this is 10 digits. 87954 82361.
Thank you. So, should I...
That is the end of section 1.
5, 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay. أنا أتذكر someone حط الإجابات حقه في الآيلتس في فيديو واحد ثاني من الفيديوهات حقي. فما دام نحن الآن بس نستنى شوية، أبغى أشيك إذا إجابات مين كانت صالح. إذا إجاباته كانت صح. Canadian.
Now turn to section 2.
Okay, section 2 بس لسه ما. Canadian, King Street, no, 50. No, 250. 5, it was phone. 10th of September. Evening, museum, no, it was in the museum. لأنه في مكان مش في وقت. 8 فاضي، ولكن 9 بلوند. ممتاز. بلوند يا بالاي او بدون الاي، ف اتس جود. وبعدين الارقام كانت سريعه. اوكي. طيب انا ابغى اسوي كمان البارت 2، ف at least we can do part 2 وبعدين maybe the rest I'll leave it for another day. بس اليوم ابغى اسوي part 2 كمان. ف انا ببدا part 2 عشان الناس تعرف. اوكي. اي احد عنده سؤال؟ اللايف محفوظ. بحفظ اللايف. طيب let's go do section 2. يكون موضوع ثاني غالبا.
Section 2. You will hear a manager giving a welcome talk to a group of apprentices.
لحظة، هذا غلط.
Section 2.
All right.
You will hear a manager giving a welcome talk to a group of apprentices who are starting their training at the company. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14.
Okay. عندنا وقت نشوف. Which two? كويس. فأنا بس أوقف شوية عشان أقول لكم. الآن الواحد لازم إيش يسوي؟ لازم يشوف الاختيارات بس بطريقة إنه هو يقدر يفرق بين الخمسة الاختيارات باستعمال كلمة أو كلمتين. فهنا الأول know إنك تعرف، وهنا learn، وهنا ask، وهنا react positively feedback، وأخير واحد enjoy. فبالتالي الحين بطريقة سريعة أقدر أفرق بينهم. ونشوف الثاني كمان. بس خلينا نفك التسجيل.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
11 to 14.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Janet Parker, and I'm the Human Resources Manager. We're very happy to welcome you to your new apprenticeship. I hope that the next 6 months will be a positive and enjoyable experience for you. I'd like to start with some general advice about being an apprentice. Most of you have very little or no experience of working for a big organisation, and the first week or so may be quite challenging. There will be a lot of new information to take in, but don't worry too much about trying to remember everything. The important thing is to check with someone if you're not sure what to do. You'll find your supervisor is very approachable and won't mind explaining things or helping you out. You're here to learn, so make the most of that opportunity. You'll be spending time in different departments during your first week, so make an effort to talk to as many people as possible about their work. You'll make some new friends and find out lots of useful information. As well as having a supervisor, you'll each be assigned a mentor. This person will be someone who's recently completed an apprenticeship, and you'll meet with them on a weekly basis. Their role is to provide help and support throughout your apprenticeship. Of course, this doesn't mean they'll actually do any of your work for you. Instead, they'll be asking you about what goals you've achieved so far, as well as helping you to identify any areas for improvement. You can also discuss your more long-term ambitions with them as well.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
طيب I'll pause. أنا أقول لكم إيش كان في بالي. فهي قالت ask a lot of questions. هذه قالتها أوكي. قالت learn كمان بس ما قالت learn from mistakes. طيب فإحنا لازم ننتبه إنه هذه learn from mistakes ما قالت learn from mistakes فمو الجواب B. أوكي. بس قالت you will meet a lot of people. try to engage with them فهذا معناها get to know. ما قالت أي شيء عن الأشياء عن D و E فأنا أعتقد إنه هي A و C. okay. في 13 to 14 okay. confidence building ما قالت عليه. okay. completing difficult task هذا مو صح لأن قالت they will not do your work فمو هذا. okay. ولا making timetables ولا schedule ما قالت عن timetables أو schedule. okay. فما في هي إلا B. بس ما إنه هنا عندنا اختيارين فأنا ما زلت مفكر يا confidence building أو reviewing progress. هي قالت شيء عن إنهم حيكونوا يراجعوا معاك عملك. أوكي. فهو غالبا الجواب B. إيه عفوا B و E. الآن قال before we continue we have time to look at questions 15 to 20 I think.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now, I just want to run through a few company policies for our apprenticeship scheme with you. Most importantly, the internet. As part of your job, you'll be doing some research online, so obviously you'll have unlimited access for that. But please don't use it for personal use. You'll have your own phones for that. Some of you have already asked me about flexible working. After your probationary 3-month period, some of you will be eligible for this, but it will depend on which department you're in and what your personal circumstances are, so please don't assume you'll automatically be permitted to do this. I want to make sure there's no confusion about our holiday policy. Apart from any statutory public holidays, we ask that you don't book any holidays until after your 6-month apprenticeship has finished. Time off should only be taken if you are unwell. Please speak to your supervisor if this is going to be a problem. You'll be expected to work a 40-hour week, but there may be opportunities to do overtime during busy periods. Although you're not required to do this, it can be a valuable experience, so we advise you to take it up if possible. Obviously, we understand that people do have commitments outside work, so don't worry if there are times when you are unavailable. As you know, we don't have a formal dress code here. You may wear casual clothes as long as they're practical. And the only restriction for shoes we have is on high heels for health and safety reasons. Comfortable shoes like trainers are preferable. There's a heavily subsidised canteen on site where you can get hot meals or salads cheaply. Snacks and drinks are also provided, so we've decided to introduce a no-packed lunch policy. This is partly to encourage healthy eating at work and partly to stop people from eating at their workstation, which is unhygienic. Okay, moving on to...
So في الأول هي قالت you will have to do a lot of search online. Okay. بس كمان ما قالت إنه هو قالت كمان إنه don't use it for personal use. Okay. ففي هنا قالوا some restrictions، بعض الأمور اللي هي ما تقدروا تستعملوها. Okay. فهي غالبا B. أنا حطيت A هنا لأنه ما كنت متأكد. Okay. أبغى أشوف هل احتجت اني اسمع كلام زيادة عشان اعرف معنى كلامهم، معنى not allowed معنى allowed وما الى ذلك. اوكي. فكذا خلصنا بسكشن بي. يس. اوكي. فاعتقد انه كذا كفاية في هذا اليوم. ان شاء الله المرة الثانية هسوي فيديو ثاني كمان. اذا عجبكم اللايف اتمنى انه تشاركوا اكثر. حنسوي لايف كمان ثاني مرة لأنه هو أحس إنه إذا أحد عنده سؤال على طول ممكن يسألني. فكذا كفاية. اللي عنده سؤال ممكن يسألني الآن أو كذا بعد دقيقة حنقفل اللايف. وشكرا على اللي حضر وأتمنى إنه فادكم هذا الفيديو، وأشوفكم إن شاء الله في لايف ثاني أو فيديو ثاني. In 19, why is it B? 19 is A. أنا ما حطيت B. Why isn't it B? So okay. ليش مش B? لأنه إذا أنا بتذكر في 19 قالت إنه you can wear casual clothes. We don't have any rules against wearing any clothes you want. We have rules against wearing shoes. So the only restriction we have is high heels. Okay. بس في السؤال 19 ما كان السؤال عن shoes فقط. السؤال كان عن نوع معين من انواع الشوز اللي هو trainers. Okay. هي قالت comfortable shoes like trainers are encouraged. فبالتالي انها تنصح انكم تلبسوا trainers. هو بيقول اذا انا لبست trainer هل في لون معين من الترينر؟ هل في شكل معين من الترينر اللي اقدر البسه؟ لا، ممكن تلبس اي نوع من الترينر. عشان كذا هي A. لو كانت قالت only black trainers are allowed فحيكون الجواب B. اهلا وسهلا بسمة. I'll give one more minute عشان اذا احد عنده سؤال. Okay. ثانت. اوكي اعتقد ما في احد عنده سؤال. اوكي طيب اشوفكم ان شاء الله في لايف ثاني. بتوفيق في اختبار الايلتس. واذا عندكم اي سؤال تليجرام انستغرام يوتيوب كومنتس انا ان شاء الله اكون موجود في الخدمة. التحدث لازم you need to find a partner. لازم تلاقي احد تقدر تتكلم معه وتقدر يعني يكون موجود عندك عشان تجرب تحاول تجرب كلمات. انا انصح انه يكون اعلى من مستواك بشوية ولكن قريب من مستواك عشان هو يستفيد وانت تستفيد. اوكي اذا السلام عليكم.